Yo, what's up, guys? This is Extreme. And sorry for not uploading any recently. I thought that I was gonna be able to have some recordings, um, but I just wasn't able to. Um, dual videos are a lot harder than I think they are. I might be doing a dual video today once I go to my old high school to go duel some people. But I wasn't gonna show this deck profile. This is a Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. I wasn't gonna show this deck profile until it was like until I worked with it a little bit, but I don't really have anything to record, so I'm just gonna put it up, and I guess I'll show you guys like what I'm thinking of changing. The deck works fine as it is, completely competitive, but there are some things I would like to change personally. Uh, and this is my junk Doppel deck. It's gotten really popular to use just because it's so much cheaper to build now due to the Synchron Extreme Structure deck. So here's my adaptation to the deck. And yeah, let's go. Also, I am using the light from outside rather than the light from in my room from my fan. So you guys tell me if you guys like this better. So yeah. For the monsters, I'm running 3 Junk Synchron for just 3 Junk Synchron, 3 Quick Draws, Quick Draw Synchron, and 3 Jet Synchron. These are what the main tuners are to allow you to go for your Quasar plays. Um, yeah. Jet Synchron really made the deck a lot more competitive and made the use of Road Warrior a lot more reliable, and it just is an all-around better card than Unknown Synchron. So yeah. Uh, I run 3 Doppel Warrior just because I want to make sure I get it in my first starting hand, and it's such a good card. That running 3, people run 2 in it. People think that running 2 is enough because of reinforcements, but once I'm done with the deck, I'm gonna have other cards that I want to search reinforcements with. Yeah, I run it at 3. 3 Level Eater. A lot of people think that running only 2 is fine. My argument with that is there's no searcher for Level Eater besides 1-for-1. So running 3, because for most of your quick Quasar plays, you really do need Level Eater. And like the only way you can really ever go for him is with 1-for-1 and Foolish. So running 3, he's just your playmaker. So you have to really run. You have to have him in your starting hand. So I run 3. 3 Tuningware. I ran Tuningware for a little bit, and I thought it was actually really good. But upon further analysis, this card is fairly decent. When you're going for certain plays, like if you use him for Formula Synchron to sync for Formula Synchron, and you already have TG Hyper Librarian out, and you go Formula Synchron, you could draw 3 cards. But I will be switching him out because he's just because of the fact that he's not a level 2, and I have enough level 1s in the deck that I don't really need him. Sorry. I don't really need him in the deck as of now. I might end up siding him just in case I need draw power. But, yeah. I run 3 of him. I'm going to be switching him out for 2 Synchron Carriers and 1 Rush Warrior. I'm not going to be running Maxi or Mathematician in the deck just because, for one, they're both like 15 bucks a pop, and I just don't want to spend that kind of money. And 2, I just find that a lot of times when you're using Maxi, a lot of times like you're discarding, you never really end up using his effect unless you go second, and you usually want to go first with this deck. So yeah. And in Mathematician, a lot of people tell me that he's a really good in this deck, but because like if you don't get Junk Synchron, you can go for plays with him. But running him at 3, it just seems like too much. First of all, it's $45 to run him at 3, and like I'd rather just stick with the consistency of running the 3 tuning and the 3 Rhoda, and then working towards getting Junk Synchron for my Quasar plays. I'd rather just do that. 2 Synchron Explorer. Synchron Explorer is a really good card for like say if you can use him to go for Quasar, but you can also use him for like say if you haven't defeated, if you do get Quasar out or like stuff like that, and you still have him in hand, and like say if they somehow survive Quasar with like I say like Battle Fader or just whatever, um you could use Synchron Explorer next turn for to start off more plays to possibly go for like a second Quasar. 2 Quick Draw Synchron. Quick Draw Synchron's a really good card to run. Just basically because of the fact that it's a special summon card, and the more special summon you can do, the better. You can actually think Quillball, Synchron Explorer, and 2 Quick Draws in your first hand, you can go for Quasar. So yeah. 2 Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler's really good in this deck just because it's like you want to keep your monsters alive while you're going for certain Quasar plays. So like say if your opponent uses destruction effects during your turn, or effects in general that would destroy them during their turn, you can keep them alive. If you're not able to go for Quasar, at least you can keep your monsters alive until you can. Then I run the 1 Dandelion. Dandelion's just so good not to use. Because like say if you don't get your Doppel Warrior out and you have Foolish, you can at least Foolish Dandelion, and there's your 2 tokens so that you can go for your Quasar plays. So yeah, those are the monsters. Get out of here, get Junk Synchron. For the spells, I run 3 Tuning for the searching, as well as 3 Reinforcements. Reinforcement of the army for more searching. 1 Raigeki and 2 Darkhold. This is basically if I go second, I can get rid of my opponent's field so that I could OTK a lot easier. Oops, I'll just keep those there actually. 2 MST. I might bump it up to 3. I'm not sure yet. But the MST is what MST is for. Nowadays it's for pendulum destruction as well as, back row destruction if your opponent's ever using back row. So yeah. For the 1-ofs, I run 1 for 1. 1 for 1 is used for special summoning Level Eater or Jet Synchron, my bad. Oh, and for those people that are asking me why I don't run Glow Up Bulb, Glow Up Bulb's very good in this deck. I just find that Jet Synchron, the difference between, I like Jet Synchron a lot better because of the fact that it mixed both Glow Up Bulb and Unknown Synchron. It's a Glow Up Bulb that Road Warrior can search for. So running 3 Jet Synchron is just good enough. If you don't have the money for Glow Up Bulb, there's no problem. You don't really need it. I could buy Glow Up Bulb, but I just don't see the need for it. And this deck, I don't want to run 41 cards or 42, so I wanted to keep this deck at 40. And it just seems like the way I play the deck, running Glow Up Bulb would just get rid of cards that I might need to play with. But anyway, 1 Mind Control, just in case, your opponent's using cards that you can use to go for your sinks, and if anything, you can just use this card to ditch for Jet Synchron. 1 Foolish, for ditching cards into the graveyard that you might need at a certain point. And then 1 Soul Charge. I run Soul Charge for one reason, and that's double Quasar. A lot of people only run 1 Quasar, and I say to those people that only run 1 Quasar that they're a moron. Because if you're running Soul Charge, what other purpose would you want to use Soul Charge for instead of going for double Quasar? I think people that run Soul Charge in the deck and only run 1 Quasar are going to regret the time that they can go for double Quasar, and since they only run 1 Quasar, they can't. I understand that the extra deck's a little hefty. I took out the ability to go for Trishula or any level 9s. I've never really had a time where level 9s are absolutely necessary to go for. So yeah, that's my main deck. Now, for the best part of the deck is my extra deck. This extra deck is basically complete. There are things I want to change from it, but other than that, I think I need to put like $10, $15 into it. That's it. 2 Shooting Quasar Dragons. This is the main card in the deck. This is what you want to end up going for. The Junk Doppel is built to go for this card first turn, and going for 2, that's almost guaranteed your game. Basically, it negates card activations once per turn. It can attack twice, and it has a 4,000 attack points. And then it also has the effect of when it leaves the field, whether it's compulsed, I think even if it's bottomless, as long as it's not Solemned or Blackhorn of Heaven and it leaves the field, you can search your extra deck for a Shooting Star Dragon and special summon it. And I do, in fact, run a Shooting Star Dragon. A lot of people don't even run Shooting Star because they think that once Shooting Quasar's out, you automatically win the game. Like, it's so good of a card. And it is a very, very good card. But a lot of times, this card will get destroyed. So going for Shooting Star, and Shooting Star is almost just as good as Quasar. It has the ability to attack more than twice. It has the ability has Stardust's effect of negating whenever a card effect activates that destroys cards on the field. It can negate it, and unlike Stardust, it won't leave the field. But then it also has like a Galaxy Eyes effect of whenever your opponent declares an attack, you can banish this card from your field to negate the attack and then special summon it back onto the field at the end of the phase. So this card is super good, and I think not running it is another stupid idea. I also put I was debating between running Stardust Warrior and Leo, but with new cards that came out, Stardust Warrior is a living solemn. When it gets sent to the graveyard, you can search for any level 8 or lower warrior type synchro monster from your extra deck and special summon it. It's a living Stardust Warrior, living Solemn Warning, and it's super easy to go for. A lot of times in my first hand, if I don't go for Shooting Quasar, I can easily go for Stardust. So during my first hand, if I at least get a hand that I can work with, you're either going to see this card on the field or this card on the field. And this is still a very good card and very, very hard to go against. So yeah. One Road Warrior. This allows me to go for a lot of Quasar plays. One Stardust. I'm thinking of switching Stardust out for a Scrap Dragon, but for now I'm just running Stardust. One Junk Berserker. Now Junk Berserker is going to be switched out for a Junk Archer, just because it's way better. Drill Warrior. Now I do like Drill Warrior, and I like its effects of getting rid of getting cards back onto the field. But I do want to switch this out for Junk Gardener, just because Junk Gardener is a lot easier to go for. With Drill Warrior, you're required to use Quick Draw Synchron. With Junk Gardener, you can use Junk Synchron and Quick Draw, so it's a lot more consistent. For level 5s, which is arguably the best part of the deck, I run one TG Hyper Librarian to give me that draw power, and you can get a massive amount of draw power with this deck. One Jet Synchron came out of a new structure deck. It's a living Compulse, and a lot of times, if you don't have Road Warrior with a Stardust Warrior's destruction effect, you usually end up going for Jet Warrior I guess you can. Well, you couldn't compulse, but you usually just go for it. Don't ask questions. On a Junk Warrior, just because it's a card that you can go for. It's a card that you can go for with Quick Draw. You don't really run very many. A lot of people ran Catastor or Armades. I found that running that is inconsistent because of the fact that Quick Draw can only special summon into cards that require Synchron monsters as Synchro material. So that's why I specifically run Junk Warrior. And then I run Excel Synchron, which, as a matter of fact, I think you can go Excel. You can use because this is a Synchron monster itself. You could use Quick Draw for Excel Synchron. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's the way it goes. But this is just another tuner Synchro, and it's actually a really good card. I just dropped a card. Oh no. Yeah, there it is. One Balmung. I do run Balmung, and I'm thinking of switching this card out for either Phonon Pulse or Haster. Balmung's alright, but Phonon Pulse and Haster are way better. Then 2 Formula Synchrons to finish my Quasar plays. And once you get TG Hyper Librarian and Formula out, you can literally draw 2 cards, and you go for your plays, and then blah. Pretty soon, I think by the end of your turn, if you have your Quasar play, you can literally get like plus 4 or 5 cards in your hand, depending on what you use to sync. And then I got my token. I don't have any Doppel tokens or fluff tokens, but I do have tokens. So yeah, that's the deck profile, guys. Hope you guys liked it. Leave a comment telling me how trashy my deck is, because I don't run Mathematician or Maxi, because I don't have that kind of money. But yeah, don't forget that the giveaway is still going on for Jam Squad. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys later.